Hello everybody, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button. I junk journal and a slow stitch, and today I'm going to slow stitch-ish because I'm going to use some of the things that I use for junk journaling and paper crafting and use them in my slow stitching, or give you examples of and do a little bit of process of. It's kind of a more of an exploration video today. But I have used stamps in my slow stitching for the longest time. For I think my daughter was small. Well, I know my daughter was small because I tried to look for one. See, look. These are not with stamps on fabric, but I used to make a badge for her to go to school, and I remember the one that we made for 5 and 6 certainly was using stamped elements, and I can't find it. I think it must be in a memory box, but they're like just a big badge that you wear at school. I used to make them, but there we go. They're quite nice. I really like this one. I like that one too. That's a How to Train Your Dragon, toothless dragon, and that looks quite cool. And this one is all oilcloth, and I love the 3D of it. It's just very simply done. It's just a whip stitch, and then this is a back stitch but sort of done round in letters. Yeah, that's a really nice one. We might do something Valentine's-y in the same kind of ilk, but anyway, by the by, that was just, I found those. I was looking for examples to show you, but I think I went on a workshop and I thought about doing this, but I went on this workshop, and I think it was with Tilly Rose, and I think she's on YouTube. And it was in her barn when she used to have like a little studio with, it was in a barn with a little bit of a shop and some sewing machines. And me and my sister-in-law went, I think it's kind of like Fenish way, so it's kind of like Peterborough way. We went and we made some journals, and I can't find that either. But I mean, we're on about decades ago. We made some journals, and she had alcohol inks and stamps, and I was just like, well, that's genius. And I have loads of alcohol ink and stamps because I didn't quite get myself fully into scrapbooking, but I bought all the things. So and that's where that's started. And I would say I did this before I did junk journaling. In fact, I know I did this before I did junk journaling, because I took these elements to put on these sewing books. These were actually on some bunting that was in my window of the house, that in the front room of the window of the house that I used to live in Cambridge. Yeah, for the longest time they were in that window. I'll recycle anything, even things that I've recycled. So I thought I would just talk to you. You can see, like, I've layered up the butterfly. It's the same stamp but just in different colours, and it just brings it to life. I've done that. There's a key in here where I've done that, and then this is like an escutcheon. It's like a keyhole with a key, and then these are little rulers, but they look like tape. I've got some paper tape here, but they look like, you know, dressmaker's tape. Yeah, a couple of vintage buttons on it, and they were really nice and bunting. We'll also do some slow stitch bunting as we sort of head towards spring, get Easter out of the way, and then we'll start to do some slow stitch bunting and do like a pennant a week or something like that. But yeah, they're just really lovely. So we've got birds, we've got flowers. I can't find this stamp. This is how old things are, and stamps don't last forever, so I think it might have just shriveled up and died, and that's why I can't find that anymore. And it was only free from the front of a magazine. This one is one I just bought from Hobbycraft, and again I've sort of layered it up. You were going to need your thimble if you start stitching these, particularly if it's this material. You need your thimble. That's something else we might make in a slow stitch video. Yeah, I'll have to go digging in the garage to make the thimble, because I need to get some leather, and that's in the garage. And this one's butterflies, more of that ribbon and birds, and just lots and lots of layers to make it. It's quite 3D. So you make these little clusters like you would in a junk journal, like that would be an acceptable cluster in a junk journal. And it's the exact same thing. I was doing it before I was doing junk journaling. I was making these things. So there's those, and then I get into bees. So this is one that's not been embroidered on. And when I say embroidered on, I just mean like little stitches. And this one that has, another one that has, and another one that has. And these are all fabric samples that I've just mounted onto felt very simply, and just put like a pin on the back to make a little fabric badge or brooch. This again are really simple, so they're just very simple stamps with a car and a VW sort of camper, and I've put buttons where the headlight would be, or the main, that's where the tyre would be, and just sort of whip stitch them onto some felt and just sort of done a safety pin. Really very simple. Butterflies, again that layering effect. That's just a bow, something I've not finished. That's a bee that's not been embroidered, it's just been sort of whip stitched onto something, bit of felt. This is a, I don't know what you call it, it's not a snippet roll, but it's a sort of roll that, you know, it's meditative, it's mindful. You know, I did this as a mindful practice. Be yourself, and then there's the bee, you know, like that sort of thing, with a vintage cotton reel. I've sold these as kits before in craft fairs, so they might become a kit, because I have loads of these, because I use the thread. They might become a kit for you to use. So there's that. There's my vintage button. So this is the vintage button logo, and I have made other stamps, and I forgot there's a video on this to make the logo in different ways. Can I get that off there after I did my tidy up? So I've made these, and they all say the vintage button on, and then I have an actual little, it's like from the 80s, it's office sort of stamps, and it's just permanently mounted on here now. That's my vintage button one, and that's the little logo on the channel. It's actually on that material, but it's got a red button, and that's because these were little, this is keeping a needle safe, but these are little bags with a vintage button label that was used in the craft fair to sell stuff. So, you know, and these are very easily made. I used to get a magazine that had lots of stamps in it, particularly like happy birthday, Christmas. They were for card makers, but I would use the stamps to do this or make junk journals with, and I would have sort of lots of happy birthdays and Merry Christmases, and it's never something I'm going to use, so I just sort of cut them up and made my own stamps. Used some super glue onto some transparent paper. You could like make any sentence or sentiment that you want that way. It's sort of higgledy-piggledy writing. It looks really effective. I did that in one of my junk journal July. Was it last year? I did that, yeah. So we're going to have a go. That's what I thought. I would show you the materials that we're going to use, and we'll have a go on each one. And I haven't actually done this in years, because I sort of built myself up with a little stock of things, stock of these elements, and then I've been working my way down them. But I haven't done that in ages, so well, I'm gonna have to move some bits out of the way because I don't have a big space. This is why I want a desk. I was talking to my husband about getting rid of this bed, and he was like, well, what are we going to do with guests? And I'm like, well, we haven't really put anybody up for a year. We had his friend Gus, who'd moved over from South Africa, for about a month. And then we haven't really had anybody. And anybody else who would come, they would be couples, so they'd need something bigger. And there's, within walking distance, there's at least 2 Airbnbs. So I don't think it's very necessary. Let's put that there. So we've got these examples of fabric. So some of them are fabric samples. In fact, I think all of them bear that. That's a fat quarter, but it's all very similar material. So it's sort of very flat cotton. And then this material, that's got a lot of dust on it, so I'll put that there until I can clean it off. These were found in a book under my bed that's here. That's why that's dusty. These are samples for blinds. So on the back they have got like a coating, a plastic coating, but here it is material. It's the same texture as this. It's just hard because it's got a coating on the back. And that's what the majority of these things are, from this type of material. Because I remember when I started doing this, and certainly like when I made these, there was a shop around the corner from me that was closing down, and they wanted to get rid of all the samples, and so I walked round and got as much as I could carry back. And I used it for the things that I did in my job, like making things. I had a creative job, and I did it for myself, to make things like that, because it just makes me happy to make things like that. So I had a little route through my stamps, and I've always got a selection of stamps on my desk. So I've got some Prima by Designs butterflies. I've got some tickets that I used for the Junk Journal January the other day. All these really should be giving a bit of a wash and a wipe down. I've got that bird. That bird's very good. Oh, I've got a saying here that's a spark of inspiration that needs sticking onto a piece of transparency. That's another ticket. Another butterfly. That butterfly might be really interesting to do. Then I've got this box. I've also got I've got some stays on brown timber, some stays on jet black. I've got another stays on jet black there, so I've got 2 stays on jet black. So which one's that hiding underneath? Oh, and that's like olive green. And you can, I mean, I generally just do black, but you can do other colours, because I've got that's permanent waterproof, cobalt blue, Kyrit ink. So, you know, those are the types of inks you can use. And then I have here, I'm quite wary that this might all, I've got lots of different types of stamps here. I keep them in CDs or in their original packaging. Like, I don't even know why I bought them years ago. Although I could probably do something with that, but not for this. That's a Junk Journal thing. I'm going to keep that out because that'll be handy for my Junk Journal January. So I'm not. But I've got like a little sewing machine here. I think I want to do that with that one. I don't know where this is from. It's probably from the front of a magazine. And it's never been used because I can't get it off the CD case. And they should be used. They should be used. I feel bad about all these things that you have and you don't use them. So I've got another block here that's got like another little escutcheon that's got in a heart shape. You know, where you put a key in a lock. I want a bird. That was what I was after. Was a bird. I think I want that one. Again, I think from a cover of a magazine, but is I think they were RSPB, yeah, like kind of a Royal Society for Protection of Birds. There you go. Oh, I want the bee. I do have more bee ones. I've got some big bee ones. I've got a big Prima by Designs bee, but I think we'll just use this one. We'll have to just use our fingers for that. That key's good. We'll have that key. The little stars are good. This is like a little cotton reel thing to do. Cotton reels, can you see? Like, they're not, they do die after a little bit. Got more labels. Labels are quite handy, but I don't think we'll do, because I do labels in lots of things. Oh, a pair of scissors. Now I do have a pair of fancy scissors, like a stamp of like a pair of fancy scissors, and I don't know where that's gone. These though, They are from Anna Griffiths. I don't know if she still does stamps like this anymore. But like they are, it's like 15 years old, like easy. I'm an old lady. Oh, there's my pretty ones. Let's have these ones instead. So I've got a bow there, and I might do that label. That's a good label to do. This is really, I use this so much. That's an Anna Griffiths one. And it's like a bulldog clip, but I don't think you want that with fabric. You do, however, because I've got an idea of something you can make. Actually, no, I'll just leave the case out. So we'll do that. Did we get a key? We got a key out, didn't we? Right, so we've got some more ink. Oh, we've got a vibrant violet. I just pulled all my archival inks out. And what I'm saying about, I think I've said it in a junk journal video, is I'm planning on this year only buying things that run out. Trying to anyway. I know I'm going to end up buying some old stuff, but I'm trying not to. I've stayed away from Risley Barnes after we went to that place in Farnham. My husband did bring me some free finds that he found out in the wilds the other day. Some map books and some like wildlife books, which is okay. But it's just, I don't want to bring any more stuff into this house. Right. Okay, let's have a go. We've got all these different nice colours and some neutrals, and that's probably, I don't know how it's going to take on that because it's an open weave. That's a bit of an experiment. I think this should take all right on those and that, because that's quite closed as well. But you could like make your own, you know, like handmade by the Vintage Button, you know, like that would be what I would do. You could like make your own labels instead of buying labels. I think this could be it was a game changer for my slow stitching, because I changed from making very simple things like bags and other practical bits and pieces to making all these wonderful kind of little bits, particularly like when it came to, like, it inspired me to even do things like this when it came to, you know, just doing other little bits and pieces. I had when I used to do these, I had like loads of like Cambridge Yummy Mummies. Oh, I'll commission you to do it. I thought, you can't afford to pay me an actual hourly rate, even though, you know, they earned a lot more money than I did. I go, well, it took me 10 hours to do that. You're going to pay me £100 for it? I don't think so. Anyway, should we do some bees? Because bees are, when I was looking through and I saw those bees, I thought, oh, I love a bee. And I haven't done anything with bees for months because it's been winter and I kind of am a bit seasonal. Didn't realise I was so seasonal. Right, so we've got some yellow. Let's do some bees. Do the bee first, because that's got to be the most difficult one, I think. You know, we'll eat the frog. We'll do the hard one first. Now, one of these is more juicy than the other. I think you might be the more juicy one. Oh, actually, that's quite juicy because I've just put my thumb in it. Get some baby wipes from my little shelf underneath my desk. Okay. Shall we just have a stamp? Let's just see. I might keep that folded up. We'll try both stamp pads. I think actually that one might be more juicy. Oh no, that's quite juicy. Okay, let's do it on the fat quarter. So this is just like quilting weight cotton, poly cotton probably, just like from Hobbycraft. I thought it might be interesting to do a bee on something like this. It might be too busy. We don't know until we try it, do we? Certainly the label will look nice, and some of the other bits and pieces would look nice on this fabric. I would never normally do this. I would normally do it on the very outer edge, but I don't think I will use this for anything. That's alright. Now we've got some, I would be cutting this out, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And it's only because it's an like I've not mounted it, and it's very juicy. Let's do it on the other stuff. And let's get those baby wipes back and clean that off. How's your day's been? My day's been alright. We went out to Anglesey Abbey, which is like a National Trust place near where we live, near Cambridge. So we went there for a trod around the winter garden. We didn't go in the house. We might do one more on this material. See what I think about it. Yeah, we went around the winter garden. We came back, went to the shop in the National Trust place to buy some extra bits and pieces for my daughter's birthday, and then we had lunch, and then very boringly we went to Tesco. That's much better. Now you can't see, this is something where I would then go with some black and some yellow thread. I probably wouldn't with the wings. I would probably just go in with the black and sort of draw the bits and pieces out to create that. You know, like it's almost making a pattern. Let's do it on these. I'm quite excited about these. So that, again, this is just what would be cotton. I actually think that's a poly cotton too. This is just cotton, but it's got a coating. It doesn't say. It's just a coating to make it like a black outline, really. Clean that bit there. Okay. Let's do the same thing. We'll just do one on each. Then we'll get to the other ones that are on blocks. This is a Crafty Individual stamp that I've just never mounted onto something, because when you buy them like this, and then you have to buy the glue and the mounting foam, and I just never got round to it, but I've used it loads. But I do think my Prima by Designs bees are better. And actually, like Prima by Designs and IOD, they do stamps that you can put on furniture, so they're sort of slightly bigger in scale, and they just seem overall better. They're much more expensive, but I would rather, instead of buying, like, I don't know when I bought, put it down now somewhere, when I bought that one with the lady's eyeballs, I don't know when I bought that, but they're very cheap and probably not that great quality or great working practices, where like the other stuff is a bit more. Oh, look at that though. I like it. So then you just would like fussy cut that out, and that would be an element you can put onto, you know, one of these other bits and pieces and build your collage up. We've done enough bees now though. Let's just put that to one side. I'll have to clean it. Let's get the other fabrics. I want to try a bit of a more open weave. But also, when you are doing, let's try this in the violet one. This is so sticky because I've not put it dusty, so I might just have to do that with my, do it like that. I am muttering. Let's try this violet. I've never tried it with a pale colour like this before. But it's all an experiment. You're thinking, this is not a slow stitch video. It's not a slow stitch video yet. And it might not be a slow stitch video. We might not actually do any stitching, but don't turn off. We've got a giveaway to talk about in a bit. It's about creating things that you can then slow stitch with. And like I said, I first heard this. It was in a Tilly Rose, who I do think I might try and at her in the video. And it wasn't actually what I used. I remember the journal now. It was a patchwork journal cover, and it was a stamp with a sentiment on it that I actually used. But it just sparked my imagination of, I've got all these different stamps and I've got archival links. I can go to town. And I did. So, now how are we doing? Oh, that's quite nice. You're not going to get like it's been printed on a printer, or even like a sharp image like on a piece of paper. That's not what this is about. That's now a guide to get in there with all my different coloured, what have I done with them? All my different coloured threads, to get in and paint in the details with all my different coloured threads. Now, while we've got it on this, you do have to heat seal your stamps so that they stay on. Now, you can heat seal them with an iron, or you can heat seal them with a heat gun. There we go. And now it won't come off, and it won't wash off. So we've got that. So I go with I wanted to do that didn't I? I want to do it what colour do I want to do it? I'll do it black. We will do it black. And I think, well, we'll see with this one, it's about as well getting something that's really clear. Like the image that you're stamping is really clear. Just have a little bit of cushioning on it. To see how it'll come out. Again, it's not going to be as sharp as it would be on a piece of paper. And you kind of block printing it. You know, like fabric's been block printed all kinds of places. It's just the same thing. You're just block printing your fabric. Oh, look at that. Oh, actually, that's come out really well. Should we do that on a paler colour and then you can see if it's that pink or that pale blue? Let's do it on the pink. I don't normally use pink in anything. We're not remotely a pink household at all. Never have been. Oh, that pink plastic when girls are little. I used to not want, I didn't buy it, other people used to buy it for her. I resisted the Disney princesses. She still found out about it and loved them though. Look at that. So nice. So you could do that and then put like, you can make your own labels. And you wouldn't have to, you know, you wouldn't have to sort of sew over that. That looks good enough. Heat seal it. Put, you know, from the machine off. You're well away. I know I'm using a baby wipe and I probably shouldn't, but I have. Let's do a bird. you're going to stay on. Stay on now. You'll stay on now, ish. Like I said, a lot of these stamps, they're off the front of a magazine, so they're not the best quality. I should have dug out my Prima by Designs one. We might do a birds and the bees or something another time, and I'll show you what they're like stamped. Okay. See what you're like on here. You any different? Sometimes it's nice to get like a really nice coloured. Oh, that's nice. You know, like I've seen somewhere, but I can't find it. I had like a polka dot, sort of yellow background with white spots polka dot, and I stamped a bird on it, and it looked really effective. Let's see. Or just with a background, like another colour background. I will do this in a corner because I don't know what I'm going to use this for. This might become a journal, I don't know. But fabric samples, go to an interior design shop, whatever country you're in. I'm sure there's interior design shops, and you can ask them for the scraps and see, you know, say you like to do things ecologically, and look at that, that looks really nice. So you'll end up with stamps that you like to use more than others. Let's put that one to one side. Let's do this one. This is actually a handmade for you, but it's like a little cotton reel. I might put this on that one with it, because that'll go nice. It's sweetie coloured in my journal. So you can use them in your junk journals. Oh, that looks nice. And what, you know, I would do is have an evening where you just stamp stuff out, or you stamp and go. But I would have an evening where I just stamped things out, worked out what I wanted, what I didn't want to want, what I didn't want to want, what I didn't want, and, you know, go from there really. These scissors are nice, but these scissors are disintegrating. I can't word, I'm tired. Somewhat they're not going to come out complete, but we're not bothered. We will try anyway. I don't know if I've got. Yeah, I've got that one. Let's do it on that one. So where are you on your crafting journey? Have you got like lots of supplies? Or are you just building up your supplies? Most charity shops in the UK, and I think like this is the same for any, you know, like they have like a craft department, or you can go on Facebook Marketplace, or house clearance places. There's all kinds of places you can get supplies for not a lot of money and not wrecking the planet. But yeah, where do you get your supplies from? Look at that. See, that looks really nice. And what I would do with this is I would cut it out and then sew it onto another sort of piece of fabric and actually make like a scissor keep. You know, that you would sort of put some little scissors in. I don't think I have any little scissors here. I do, but they're too big. But to give you an idea. You know, if you've got some like little pretty embroidery scissors, make like a little scissor keep that you can slot that in. Should do another bird. Do that bird. And it looks really nice when you layer these things up. And because it's just stamps and fabric, it's not like expensive elements that you've bought. You can do that. All it is your time. You can sort of like make loads of them up and do that layered effect, which looks really nice. Now, the beauty of these ones is they don't fray. These ones you'd have to cut them out and then mount them onto something else so that they wouldn't fray. Just sort of whip stitch around. Let me see if I've got like these bees. That's on material that'll fray, but because I've actually embroidered on it and embroidered onto like some felt, it's quite stabilised, so even if it did fray, it would stop when it got to that. This is like fraying material. It's not been stamped out, it's actually an element that's been cut out of a printed piece of upholstery fabric, but it's the same thing that like you would just whip stitch it onto a piece of felt. But that bird looks really good. Right, what keys? Did I say keys or labels? What fabric should I do these labels on? Like this tealy colour. I'm gonna have to clean that off. As you can see, I don't really look after. I don't have running water on this floor where the craft room is, so that hampers me a little bit. But even when I did, I didn't really. So I've had 2 houses that before this that I've been able to have a dedicated craft room. One was a room that was similar size to this that also doubled up as a guest room, and then the other one was in a bigger house. We didn't stay in that house very long because we moved out of the town we were living in to Cambridge. Oh, and I loved that house. It was just so nice and big, and I actually had a craft room, but I also had like a big crafting space in the like downstairs entry sort of hallway, which was really handy. Let's put those to one side. Oh my word, it doesn't want to fold, does it? Hold on a minute. It doesn't want to fold. Doesn't matter, it has to. Okay. Now that's because my ink was dry because I was faffing about. Let's do another one. But I could still cut that out and that would be really useful. I used to sort of also make tags that would go on my daughter's like bags at school, and I used this label because I would just like stamp it out in the fabric and then I would stitch what it needed to be stitched on, and then I would mount it all onto the felt like I said before, which would just work really well. See, that's much better. That looks so nice. So think about your stamps. What would you use? Have you got stamps that you can use? Would you need to, you know, think about getting some more stamps? I mean, I think you've probably all got bits and pieces you could use. You can have to find the key after I've done this one. What am I going to want the key on? Put the key on a solid colour. press down too hard on that, but that's alright. That's not going to stick on there very well. Be getting a more even pressure with a block. Oh, there we go. See, that's nice. And that will, where is it? It's even the same stamp. That's how old that stamp is. Like, I don't know if that's an Anna Griffiths one. You know, that's the same stamp as this one that's got keys. So there we go, really. I don't know, I mean, I could cut some bits out, but I don't know how much more I want to bore you with. If you want to be bored by it, let me know. But basically, have a play about with your stamps. Have a look at them and think what is useful here. What can I use? What inspires you? I mean, like I said, I did this journal with the Tilly Rose lady, and then it was just like a little label that like had a sentiment on it, but it really sparked my imagination because I knew I had all these stamps and the same type of ink, and I was like, oh, I can make loads of stuff. And I did for years and years and years. I remember one Easter, you know, they have Easter bonnet parades. I don't know if they have those in other countries, but like the schools, everybody makes an Easter bonnet and they parade around the school in a school assembly or something. And so everybody makes these Easter bonnets, and one year I took like loads of these. I ripped apart a Laura Ashley duvet set that was gingham. I've still got loads of that material, and covered this baseball cap and then covered them in the flowers, and it looks so cute, looks so good, and she was so chuffed with it. You know, like kind of all kinds of stuff like that. You can just use them. They're so useful. I've made hair ties, particularly with this stamp. I can't find it anymore, but I must have overused it. Hair ties that were just like the plain old boring elastics, you know, just sew it in, and then when you tie it in and bobble up the hair, that's in the hair. I put on the end, I have a smaller flower stamp, put them on the end of labels, or the butterfly, that butterfly stamp, put them on the end of not labels, laces, so that they don't pull out of the shoe, so that it makes them easier to tie the laces. So many little things that are slow stitch joy. You know, you get that slow stitch joy from doing it, but you know, it's not expensive. It's reusing stuff. You're making things that are sort of useful, you know, like the little badges and stuff. Things like this would go into, I wonder if I can get it, like little party bags. We might have to have a session making little party bags. So we've got that. Oh, I've got another example. Or two or three. So, like a little party bag, ignore that, that's a bit of my Christmas decor that's not gone away. You know, it's got that little bit of a butterfly on it there. Then this is a bit of ribbon, but this could have been stamped out. And it's just scrap old duvet cover material to make a little party bag. This is actually one of her leftover party bags from, I think, when she turned 6. Yeah, she turned 5 in South Africa. She turned 6 here. Yeah. So, like, you know, this is now 10 years old. Easy. Well, more than 10 years old, 11 years old. And then there's the, you know, these are like little Russian dolls made into a little badge. So if you've got like a kid's party, because you could do the little boys one. In fact, I remember, I'm getting onto a different tangent now, but let me find that. Can we find that? This party, How to Train Your Dragon one, it was so good. I bought a load of t-shirts and I did this stencil. I made this into a stencil, and I bleached through it, so like the eyes came through and then the bleach was all around the outside, so this bit was still black. And the little boys who came to that party, they were still wearing that t-shirt for years after. There was one set of twins that came, and the mum was like, oh, that t-shirt was the coolest thing they've ever got from a party, and they won't let me throw it away. You're like, you can make things, you're a little bit crafty, use your skills, use your materials that you already have. You can make really lovely, pretty little things that'll either sell at craft stalls, or can be put in party bags for like birthday parties if you're a granny or something, or you know somebody who's got kids, and you know you can make like a little Christmas one up with all Christmassy bits in. There's so many things you can do. I don't get to do that anymore because I've not got a little kid. I kind of miss that. That was a good part of my creative outlet, was making things like that and these little bags and the strawberry pincushions that I've said that, you know, and all the little bits and pieces. I don't do that in my slow stitching, and I think that's probably why I've ended up being a bit more junk journaling, because I really enjoy doing these types of things. So that's my slow stitch video for today, even though I've not stitched a stitch. Sorry. But it is really easy, and it will improve your practice, and it will sort of like, particularly if you're like me, because I think there's two types of slow stitches. There's ones that are embroidery people and know all the stitches, and then there's ones that are like me that don't know any of the stitches. I know, like, I can probably do a French knot on a blanket stitch, and you know, but I am basically a running stitch, a whip stitch and a back stitch girl. That's generally the stitches that I do. But that's all right, because I'm not in it for technique. I'm in it to be creative. And yeah, once you let go, you can be in it for what you want it to be in for, really. This is our giveaway box. So in here we have a vintage napkin, some antique letters, 2 Victorian letters. We've got little bags with bits and pieces in. I think we've got vintage buttons and some notions, some little yo-yos. One of the pincushions we made in last week's video. All kinds. So there's a mixture. I think that's gold braid. One of these little books, the needle books. All kinds of things in this little box of wonder that's vintage button goodness, and it's got junk journaling and slow stitching, and I find one lends itself to the other. So yeah, I'm wanting to do this to celebrate reaching 500 subscribers in like literally 6 months, and I thought it was going to take me years because I don't know anything about YouTube. I watch YouTube videos, but I haven't really watched many YouTube videos on how to make a YouTube video because I just, yeah, I don't have a brain for that. But I think if you want to do something, you should, you know, do it well and reward people and try to involve people. So I'd like more interaction on videos and for the videos to be shared. And so that's what the conditions of the giveaway are basically. Be subscribed, like the video, comment on the video, share it, let me know in that comment where you've shared it to, and as many times you do that, that's how many entries you get. I mean, obviously not on the same video, on my other videos, from now until the end of February, and then we're going to have something else running up to Easter. I thought if I did like a little giveaway to celebrate big things, and another little giveaway, like we're going to make an Easter bunny, so we may as well give that away because I don't need any more soft toys that I've made in the past. So yeah, just things like that. Just I just want to give them away. I'll enjoy making it. I enjoy putting things together because I don't do party bags and things like that anymore. That's my other outlet. So yeah, so there we go. That's the vintage button goodness, slow stitch goodness for this Sunday, even though I haven't stitched a stitch, but I showed you lots of slow stitches that I've done in the past. It has been lovely talking to you. So next week we're either going to carry on building our stash or making, because like we made a pincushion And we've made needle books in the past. We've made 2 pincushions. I don't know if I can get in the garage. We might make a thimble, because this is a thimble that I've bought, but the pattern is really, really easy. And we can slow stitch this. I just need to find some. I've got some nice thin leather. This bit doesn't have to be leather, actually. This bit can be fabric. But I've got some leather somewhere, so we could do that. Or I could start doing some things for Valentine's Day. So I might come up with something like this type of idea for Valentine's Day. There was a bag I wanted to make, a drawstring bag that's in the shape of a heart. So I think we might make that, but we've got time to do both, I think. Like a little bag that you can put things in. And I think that might be it, really. So, if you've enjoyed this video, you've got this far, well done. Give me a thumbs up and yourself a thumbs up. Do all those little YouTubey things to help the little channel grow. Enter that competition or that giveaway. And I look forward to talking to you next week. We'll be doing some more on the Junk Journal, January Junk Journal, and there'll be more slow stitch next Sunday. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye, everybody.